Hey Fit Mothers, it's Dr. A, and welcome back to our video series on how to have a stronger and healthier pelvic floor. I'm joined by my friend, Dr. Khristian from Motherhood Empowered, and we're going through a video series on how to do stretches, but in today's video, strengthening exercises for your pelvic floor. Now, your pelvic floor are these muscles that basically line the bottom of your pelvis. And we often don't think about them, but they're so implicated in our breathing. Every time we pee, poop, have sex, these muscles are so important. And it turns out when they're not healthy, when they're too weak or they're too tight, we have all sorts of health problems, and it only gets worse as we age and worse as we have kids. That's why we've been doing this series. And this is video 3 of our series. So if you missed video 1 or video 2, you can go back and check those out. In video 1, we got into some of the anatomy of the pelvic floor and reasons why you should pay attention to this. In video 2, we got into some relaxation techniques to open up the pelvic floor through breathing and stretches. And now we're in video 3. We're going to talk about strengthening exercises for the pelvic floor. And normally we think about things like Kegels and squeezing this pelvic floor up, but we have way cooler stuff that Dr. Khristian is going to get into us in today's video. So give us a little forecast and then we'll get into the exercises.
Yeah, so now that we've worked on relaxing our pelvic floor, we're going to start to do a little bit of strengthening. And like he said, we're not going to do isolated Kegels. We're going to do more functional activities that can hopefully help you get back to things like running, jumping, lifting, picking up your kids. That's when women experience pelvic floor issues. So we want to use exercises that mimic those activities to make our pelvic floor healthier.
And the cool thing is this is really simple stuff, and you're going to find that the exercises that we demonstrate are not just good for your pelvic floor specifically, it's about integrating this whole lower half with the core. So this is stuff you can use before a workout or even after as a cool down. I recommend you stack this into whatever exercise routine you're doing. I'm going to get out of the way. We're going to bring in Coach Kat and go through the demonstrations. I hope you really enjoy today's video.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about strengthening our pelvic floor now that we have learned how to relax our pelvic floor. A lot of women get pelvic floor symptoms when they're doing things like running, lifting, jumping, picking up your kids. And so we're going to do a strength progression today that starts on the ground, but we're going to slowly work our way upright to a more functional strength position. You'll see in a lot of these exercises we use a band and a ball. We use these things to help turn on our pelvic floor muscles without having to do a conscious pelvic floor contraction or a conscious Kegel. So the ball squeeze helps to turn on our adductors, which is a pelvic floor muscle on the inside of your hips right here that helps to turn on our pelvic floor, okay? And then when we pull that band apart, this is gonna work on glutes. Strong glutes are typically correlated with a strong pelvic floor. So we're gonna start with this ball here. We're gonna place it between Kat's knees, and what you're gonna do right now is what we call a bridge. So you might be familiar with a bridge, but we're gonna add a few things to it. So Kat is going to lift her bottom off the floor and squeeze the ball simultaneously, but we're gonna coordinate our breathing with this as well. So we'll come back down. Let's practice that big inhale that we learned in the last video. And then we're gonna now exhale as we come up. Very good. So remember from the last video, as we inhale, everything relaxes. The opposite happens to strengthen. We're gonna exhale and everything is going to contract. So as she comes up, she's squeezing that ball. It's turning on her pelvic floor as well as her core. So exhale, as we lift, everything will contract. Now we're gonna replace the ball with the band. We're gonna put the band around Kat's knees. Same motion. We're gonna start with your feet and knees at neutral, right at about hip width apart. And as Kat comes up, she is going to slightly pull against that band to turn those glutes on. Same concepts, okay? We inhale at rest, and then we exhale and squeeze or pull apart at the top. This is gonna activate our glutes, our pelvic floor, and our core in this lying down position. Good, we'll do one more. Good. Okay, let's take this band off. The next position we are going to move into is going to be hands and knees. So you can flip over to your hands and knees. We are going to use the ball again for this ball squeeze. So we'll put this right between Kat's knees. And the motion that we're going to do here, we're going to tuck our toes and slightly lift our knees up off the ground. So this is kind of a modified plank position where you will really feel your core working. Same concepts as the bridge. At rest, we inhale. We can maybe see Kat's belly drop a little bit, and exhale as we come up. Inhale at rest. Exhale as we squeeze and lift up off the ground. So in this exercise, you should feel your core working. With that ball squeeze, you should feel those inner thigh muscles contracting. This is really helping to activate your core and pelvic floor simultaneously. That exhale is helping to draw those muscles up the way that we want them to. One more, good. All right, we are going to move a little bit more upright now. So at home, this is what we call like a modified plank position, a modified upright position, okay? You can put your hands at the edge of the chair, the edge of your countertop, the edge of a bench of some sort, and we're gonna use the band around your knees. Put that on. So Kat is gonna get into a plank position here. Okay, good. And what she's going to do is she's gonna step side to side. This is gonna work on those glutes. Being in the plank position was really starting to challenge our core. And with her breathing, same concepts as the other exercises, we're gonna inhale as she comes together at rest, exhale as she pulls that foot out, contracts that glute. Her core is working really hard the whole time as she's maintaining this position. Inhale and exhale as you step. Good. All right, so Kat, you can go ahead and stand all the way up now. We'll keep the band on for this last position. So now we're all the way upright. This is gonna be our most functional position. If you've mastered these positions on our way to standing up, you are now ready to do this more functional pelvic floor strengthening position. With the band, just like the other exercises, we're gonna work on spreading those knees apart. We're gonna just do a body weight squat here. Okay, so Kat's gonna go down and inhale as she goes down. Exhale as she goes up, good. So on the way down, her pelvic floor is relaxing. And as she comes up, her pelvic floor is contracting. And the band is helping to assist that, okay? What you can think about during this is a functional activity you might have to do that mimics this, okay? This isn't just applicable for exercise. If you have to bend down or squat down and pick up a laundry basket, pick up a toddler, pick a baby up off the floor, you should be thinking about these same breathing concepts, okay? Inhaling on the way down. Once you pick up that heavy object, you want to exhale as we bring that object up. That helps to turn on our core, turn on our pelvic floor to help us avoid things like leaking when we stand up, back pain when we stand up. And then in a moment, we will also do it with the ball. So you can go ahead and take that band off. So Kat will place the ball between her knees. And this time we're gonna bring our feet together just a little bit. Same breathing pattern, but this time we're turning on those inner thigh muscles again. So she's gonna maintain that ball squeeze the whole way down and the whole way up. So let's inhale on the way down. Good, exhale on the way up. Good, and remember the whole time she's squeezing that ball, it's helping to activate her pelvic floor so that she doesn't have to think about Kegling with an exercise, because that can be really challenging to think about all those things. This ball squeeze is helping to do that contraction for her subconsciously. Good, nice job.
All right, Dr. Khristian, so those exercises are awesome. And what I love about them is that they're incorporating the legs, the glutes, the core, and obviously the pelvic floor comes along with that in an integrated process. And I want to ask you, if someone's having any kind of pelvic floor issues, maybe let's say painful intercourse, incontinence, so they just know something's not right, how often should they do these?
Yeah, so always remember to reference the video before this and make sure that you're able to relax your pelvic floor first. Once you've checked that box and you're ready to do strengthening, these are exercises that you can integrate into your daily exercise routine. Now, strength training doesn't necessarily need to be done every single day. This can be more like a 3 to 4 day a week type of thing, making sure that you're working on your breathing and your relaxation every day. Strength training can be a little bit less frequent every other day. And also remember, these are a progression from the floor to standing. I showed you all of them in one video, and you can do them that way if your body feels ready for that, but maybe you are just ready for exercises laying on the ground and you need to get good at those and master those for a few weeks, then you start to move upright. So if any of it feels challenging for you, just go down to the previous position and master that before you move more upright.
So awesome, and I want to thank you so much on behalf of our entire Fit Mother community for creating this video series. And again, if you haven't seen all the videos, they're going to be linked below in both the description, and we may even pin a comment. And the key thing here is that you're going to get education understanding your pelvic floor. First off, like the anatomy and why this matters. And then we went into video 2, we went into the relaxation techniques. Essential. This is like how to breathe properly to integrate the core. And this is going to help you outside of just pelvic issues, more oxygenation, a more relaxed parasympathetic tone, which is great. Then of course, these strengthening exercises in video 3. So thank you for this awesome series. Coach Kat is on screen. Thank you for doing all the great demonstration. We appreciate you very much. And for all of you listening and watching, love it. Thank you for being here, and we're really excited. So you can check out all of the stuff with Dr. Khristian's in her website and her social media, again, in the comments, as well as in the description. You can go and see links and drop her a line. Say, hey, really loved what you produced for Fit Mother, our YouTube channel. So she'll know she'll really appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We have hundreds of videos just like this on different topics. So also stuff including like nutrition. And you imagine if you're doing this kind of PT and prehab and rehab stuff in addition to a healthy lifestyle all around, you're going to feel so good and have a really healthy life. So Dr. K, thank you. Good job to all of you. We'll see you around the channel and talk to you very soon.